Okay, hello everyone. This is OK here, and we're covering the House Multivariant Discord Championship, HMVC. Sorry, that's not right. The House Multivariant Championship. The House is, of course, on Discord, um, the Discord group of variant players, and gsvc and TheFinnisher both have the same number of variants in this championship. The more variants you have, the bigger your multiplier ratio, which means because they're equal, it's just whoever wins. They're going to play 6 games of Crazy House and 6 games of 960. TheFinnisher chose Crazy House and GSV chose 960, and GSVC has got TheFinnisher on the ropes already in Crazy House. What's happening? Just to back up, TheFinnisher is playing some e4. So how's that going? Looks like interesting. Knight takes rook might be a possibility at some point. He does. Oh, he castles. Okay, and he's like, oh, I'm so safe. Defense, queen takes f2. Defense is back. Right, okay, so it's a sack. Okay, I see. So black has sacked pretty hard for this attack. So this is something I should have... I was thinking white looked on the ropes, but black has had to sack pretty hard. Oh, this went by too quickly. So black did sack pretty hard for the attack. So although his king looked like it was on the ropes, after bishop here, black actually resigns. Because he only had a knight in hand, and I guess he was having trouble defending. There's no knight drop to defend this pawn, and I mean, there's what are the threats? Like if you just do a move like this, what's the killer blow at c6? Okay, well, okay, we're going to game 2. So now GSVC is white in game 2. He's got a good... Ooh, interesting. So he's going... That's a really interesting move. So if pawn takes, it clogs up black's defense. If bishop takes, he's going for a piece. So it'll be a piece for 2 pawns. But black's okay. Yeah, nice move. Bishop here. So pawn takes, his position in... His pawn structure is good. Everything's good. Hi there, David Kelton. AKA Duvid. Yeah, good to see you. So I posted the video earlier today of my match against Mr. Sir, and Mugward also streamed it. So there are 2 perspectives of that match. So the match I didn't post is GSVC, because I didn't really do commentary on that match when I was playing it. And this match just started up, and I wasn't planning on streaming it at all, but it's a sort of surprise stream. So hopefully the video quality and the audio quality is all good. I might just go and quickly fetch a drink. Otherwise, everything seems good. Okay, so what do we think about this position? I was really curious, why not bishop takes? I was just admiring black's position, but he went pawn takes. I guess it's fine, it controls this square. But maybe he wanted to keep his bishop on h3, but I mean, TheFinnisher really playing way too solid. Okay, but okay. Here he's obviously trying to do this. I mean, just bishop e7 looks fine for black. There's nothing... Oh, I see. There is an attack on h7, which I missed. So if bishop e7, probably knight takes h7. I mean, it's such a weird looking move. It'd probably be good. Knight takes h7. And it hasn't been defended either. I think knight... Yeah, I mean, it's a free pawn, right? So bishop e7 now, maybe he's going to say, well, this knight's trapped. But yeah, if you give GSV... I think white is happy, because if you do bishop e7 at g6, it's not just a... Okay. Okay, I'm going to go and get a drink, and then we're going to continue. But yeah, maybe the finisher had a point that white is actually losing a piece here. Takes. This is actually going to be takes. So, so this is the this is the argument. So yeah, white does have an extra piece. But black's got a lot of pawns. I mean, how many? Like 3 extra pawns. Okay, very safe move, wanting to take back the knight with the bishop. So black really staying very solid. Okay, I'm going to go and get that drink and see how things go. Interesting thing, the temperature in the UK is like probably peaking around 23, 24 today, and then like tomorrow it's going to get down to 0 degrees, or tomorrow night. So kind of strange weather for the UK, where we're like almost into almost summer-like weather, and then suddenly we're going to get very cold again. And Duvid says, am I doing this from the house Discord? I'm not at the moment, but I could be. Yeah, why not? Yeah, let's log into the house Discord. Let's get into the house party. Just leaving a message that I'm streaming from house party, so that means anyone, in fact, can join in. So yeah, do join in. So what? Yeah, so just so interesting. He's saying black's saying you're going to lose a piece. Takes. So he's not losing the piece. Oh, okay. So is that black trying to get a draw? I'm slightly confused. Throws in a check. Black sacks the queen, takes the queen, and going for. Black seems safe. I'm just finding it so hard to assess this position. If bishop takes, queen at e6 looks dangerous. Knight at e7, maybe. This is a difficult game, David. Who do you think? Who do you think's been winning this game? I'm struggling. So much has happened. It just felt like that whole game was on a knife edge. It's all this sort of knight takes h7, and could this be refuted? And it was always like, yeah, very difficult. So, well, we have a very classical setup here from the finisher and gsvc with the 4 knights and the bishops are on c4 and c5. Bishop e6, interesting. I was wondering, should that bishop... What is the line here? I'm not sure. King h8 looks sensible. I'm actually wondering, even back here after h6. I mean, I'm even wondering if bishop takes h6 is the correct move for white, and at g6. But maybe this is being fanciful. And yeah. Can you? Yeah, I think. Okay, I'll leave a message here. But is the sound okay? I mean, if someone would have told me if the sound was not okay, wouldn't they? Just double checking. Yes, sound looks like it's okay. Because I saw David popped into house party but then left again, so I was wondering if there's something wrong. And oh yeah, I have chat. Oh yeah, the chat seems to be all working. So, and I'll just check one final thing, which is, am I on Lichess? Yes, in fact I'm the only featured streamer on Lichess. Now that was a crazy game. What was the critical point? So Black was doing well at the beginning. I was thinking bishop takes f6, but b takes e6 was good. This knight, I think this was a fairly critical point. And yeah, so after this, then white gets quite a big advantage. But knight takes, so we get this whole sequence where white's actually getting more pieces at the end of it all. And I think black is trying to kind of play for a draw, hoping for a draw there, and white has to avoid the draw. I guess that's my kind of assessment of it. White knew that he was in a worse position. And David says, for the multivariant, these guys are basically duplicates of each other, probably in terms of the variants they choose, so only one advances. Even though GSVC is higher rated, Finn is favourite at Crazy House and GSVC at 960. Absolutely, I mean, GSVC is an international master, practically a grandmaster. So, okay, I'm sorry I distracted a bit from this game. So we had this very classical setup. Queen e8 takes the bishop. So it's interesting, white hasn't kind of pulled the trigger and completely demolished black's kingside. So maybe black's in for some chances here. Hi there, Hercules. You can hear me, good. And Duvid is indeed a very strong player. Duvid said you can't have two players who specialise in the same variants in the final. Well, you could in theory, but yeah, obviously it's not going to happen. And Dog Answer says Finn is not really a favourite in Crazy House. No, but GSVC is obviously a very strong international master and an overwhelming favourite in 960. I mean, in Crazy House, the finisher could win this. He has a chance. Let's put it that way.
Hello. Okay.
Hi there, Oppa. Best person.
Talk a little bit.
Wonderful.
Before I go and eat.
Wonderful. Best person to join me. Yeah, this is actually the first stream I've done from the multivariant thing. So, and the first time I've heard you in so long. So, really good to hear you.
It's a nice match. gsvc, TheFinnisher.
Yep. So who's winning?
Fine.
Who's winning this?
Black now.
Black. You think?
Tempo.
Yeah, hitting the queen, hitting the pawn.
Bishop on c5 still. Going all in.
Yeah, white just trying to.
I've got a lot of pieces.
Yeah. Well, yeah, knight attack. I mean, so the problem is if you just keep on grinding, so he's being forced to go all in, which obviously is not usually the finisher's style. He's really brilliant at kind of grinding away people. But
if he goes back, with the queen, black shall be fine. Now we want to put black under pressure. If you take on e4, take on g7.
Yeah.
Then pawn takes e4. It's very annoying.
Yeah. Yeah, so the point, if you took the bishop, obviously knight f5 was a threat.
Not sure about this one. No king a7. That looks a bit weird on h6.
But
Oh, white is so solid. White is so solid.
yeah, but black is obviously black is okay here.
To prevent a knight drop on g5. I like this move.
Yeah, so he's trying to stop white playing a knight on g5, so he puts a knight on g5 himself. Yeah, because white had just got a knight in hand, right? The previous, he just picked up a knight. Yeah, knight
Not sure
g5.
about the straight. A lot of attack.
Yeah.
Not that straight.
Well, the
Rather take bishop.
queen's defending everything, right? Everything's good. Even like
Take on g7. Move 25.
Take
If you
on.
drop on f6 on move 25, sacrifice the queen and knight h3.
So who plays knight f6?
If you play knight f6 on move 25,
Oh yeah, if black plays
then
knight
even
f6.
give the queen.
If
Even
white plays knight
queen
f6.
maybe.
Yeah. Knight f6, give up the queen. Oh, this is going too fast for me now. Yeah, the finisher, he's a very impressive defender. But I think he's just down too much material here.
I'll take f6, but not now. First you want to remove some attacks. Now.
What's the
Threat
threat?
on f3. You
Yeah,
can take back.
yeah. Threats to take f3. Very nice.
Rook h6.
Takes f3, king h1 still works. It's gonna.
Yeah, takes h6, knight h3 is made. Good.
Oh, yeah, knight h.
Takes knight
Yeah, knight
h3.
h3. Yeah, knight h3. Knight h3.
How sees it?
He sees it. Excellent. So if pawn takes, the point is knight takes bishop, and with the pawn drop on g2, it's all over. He resigns. Oof. So I'll go back to that move 25 just to show on the board what you were saying. So maybe our idea for white here is it knight? Is it knight f6 here?
Knight f6, you take on f6.
Yeah, knight f6 takes on f6, and if you take back the queen, then black has a mate because he has two knights. Yeah, that's the point. Because he had knight f6 didn't work because
No, it doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work because you have the two knights and the diagonal, and you're getting the mate. Queen takes pawn, king here, and queen here, checkmate. Very beautiful. Cool.
Made a big mistake with the take on g5. Okay, black suddenly attack.
So Marlon is in the chat, and he says it's the first time I've heard Oppa and been able to tell him, been able to hear him properly. He literally said, "Tell him apart from a bear wrestler." And he says, "Has he got a new mic? Have you got a new mic, Oppa?"
No.
No, it's the same mic. It's just he's figured out how to work it. Yeah, because there were problems before, but yeah, you're very clear. I don't know if it's possible to make you even louder, but you're very clear. There is actually.
It's pawn f7, critical. Move 8, and then pawn b3.
Put you out even louder, so hopefully it's even clearer. Sorry, did you say that again? I just lost the position.
Maybe pawn at f7 on move 8.
Pawn f7 here, yep.
Not sure.
Pawn f7, king
Because you
e7.
can play king e7.
Yeah.
b3. Maybe you can take on d5. If you play b3.
Yep.
And after knight takes d5, you got pawn d7.
Yeah. Knight takes d5. Okay.
Space 5.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So he's getting a second piece with the queen.
I'm gonna leave now.
Oh, okay.
Short.
Well, have a good dinner. Yeah, it was good hearing from you.
Join.
Yep. And Cinnamon also waves hello, by the way, in the Twitch chat. Okay, see you. Have a good dinner. Okay, so GSVC has managed to get 2 pieces for his queen, so it's not a disaster. Probably, yeah. Overall, he's got 2 pawns and a piece for the queen, which looks reasonable. Black's king is in some jeopardy. Find it very hard to assess these positions, but I'd say both sides need some development and have issues. I mean, this king feels like a longer term issue, whereas it feels like white could maybe stabilize. But that's a very good move. Threatening knight takes c2. Okay, so defends nicely. So much chat here, wow. So Marlon says, "What was that at 7 force mate?" I think so. The king ran to e7, and then I'm not sure. Um, wow. So Marlon was talking about Duva talking nonsense. I think stuff like this might be representative. Losing at chess is fatal. You lose part of your soul and free will with each loss. And also, I must have negative free will. No, exactly. This is very because that implies that when you win, you gain soul, and that's not true either. God. Um, okay, I yes, it's an interesting idea of the game, but this is not the game of chess is not always a battle of the soul. Um, although there are fun representations in film. I think there's a Bergson film about a man who plays with the devil. So if you're playing for your soul, then maybe you can lose your soul. But not everyone plays chess for their soul. So I think that's I think that's what it comes down to. Depends on what you're playing for. Uh, yeah. So, well, white is doing a good job of maneuvering pieces towards the black king. As I said, this black king has just got long-term issues. This is really, I mean, this is really nice from GSVC. It's just saying, I'm just dominating you all over the board, and um, the moment you put that queen on the board, or even this queen, you're just going to get harassed. Wow, yeah, this could get painful. So bishop takes pawn, tempting. Oh, he's just not even going to do that. He's just going. Bishop takes pawn. It did work though, didn't it? It was mate, wasn't it? Bishop takes pawn looked very strong because at f7 then is black would have to sack the queen. I mean, this is also good, but okay, so it's a double threat, but nothing. He blocks with the knight, just even not giving away even a pawn. This is okay. I mean, there are no threats from black. I mean, bishop f7 is pawn, pawn, knight here, discover a checkmate, and black resigns. This is crushing play from gsvc, who takes a 3-1 lead in the finisher's choice. And Marlon says, doing a bit of Duvid baiting / indulging on the live chat. Yes, I think we had chats over on Discord as well, and I think he takes certain things too seriously, and assumes psychological motives that don't exist. Okay, so the finisher. That's giving the finisher a target on h6 in the future. Sure, you don't have bishop g5, but whenever black castles, you have a target on h6. And so what was the finisher's response? It was just to play knight d5 anyway. Yeah. Interesting. And he goes in for the kill. Okay, so, I mean, this doesn't seem awful, though. I was thinking maybe bishop at f5. That was an idea, just to try and work in on the light squares. Bishop at e3. Yeah, bishop at e3 is fine, but maybe black can try and deprive white of a bishop. Ooh, he took the bishop. Right. Okay. At some point, you have to work out that you have to. At some point, you have to figure out if he's trolling or not. Okay. Yeah, this is an annoying move from the finisher, because if you block, you get pawn at. As Katas says, yeah, this is very bad for black. Yes. I mean, oof. Maybe here, but then bishop. Yes, it is very bad. There's no other word for it. This felt like almost like a pre-move. I don't know. What? Okay. Okay, finisher, you just have to take the material. Queens aren't that bad. I know he's probably looking for the mate, for the killer blow, but this is good. This is really good. So juicy queen, yeah, he's going to take it, obviously. Maybe even pawn, takes. The king is quite naked. And then drop a pawn on f5. I think that would be strong. We've only got one pawn. Okay, that's maybe why we can't do that. So, and I don't understand this move either. Because you're at f7 is very tempting. There's no mate, the knight's covering e8, but still. I get the feeling gsvc happy to play any position that isn't forced mate against him, says Mugwort. Legion Destroyer says Queen f7 maybe. Now that is clever from Legion. Wow, and the finisher sees it. That is clever, because now we've got a rook in hand. So why is that so clever? Because it feels like... So if the king ever steps up here, we can drive it up. And if the king ever steps here, okay, I can't see the mate straight up, but there's check, takes, whatever you give me. Yeah. And Legion Destroyer says maybe he wants to c6. Yeah, so there is this and running up to c6, but that's not going to last long. So pawn here, queen here. It'll take a couple of moves, but just d8 or f8, where's the mate? Yeah, so he's going to try d8 or f8. And there isn't a direct mate, but I think you can pick up some stuff. Ooh, yep, he's running up. So there's no direct mate, but there's stuff like pawn at f7, and you're picking up everything. I would just play c4. Yeah, this feels fine. There's no need to rush it. How exactly? Okay, so there is c4, a6, with the idea you're going to try and shelter your king. So that's why a much more direct move played by the finisher. Yeah, so if you take, c4 comes with check, and then I think it's all over, yeah. So he grabs a knight, and the reason he does that is because I think... So where's the mate going to be? Knight here, king takes pawn. I didn't see the mate. This is actually going to be difficult. So he grabs the bishop, fine. But you have to try and think what piece is going to mate a king which is on h7. That's the sort of the problem. So knight at d7 is tempting, king h7. But then you need... Wow. Wow. What a move. Wow. Brilliant move. Exploiting the pin. Amazing. So the point is, if king takes bishop, knight h4, you never get to run back down. King g6, c4 defending the knight. Amazing move. If king takes pawn, yeah, we're going to see it now. Knight h4. c4, okay, we're seeing it now. And the king is stuck. Oh, he's trying to run back this way. Oh, that's true. The queen can't go here now. Well, that's embarrassing, isn't it? I think white's still winning, but white has no material. That's the problem. And that's the escape square. So he goes rook takes pawn. He needs a couple of pawns. So one pawn to block off and one pawn to mate. And so that's why he's just very casually picked up a couple of pawns and he wants to put one pawn here and one pawn here. Ooh, he's trying to run away. Takes a pawn, okay. I can't believe that. Yeah, you couldn't let him run away like that. So black only has two pieces on the board, but okay, knight here is coming, but the problem is even queen here, you can just block it. So yeah, white's got all the pieces on the board, but can it? How to convert? Should still be. I don't know if it should still be good. Okay, he pulls the trigger, and I think this is interesting actually. I was thinking check, knight takes pawn, these sorts of ideas. He always has this idea, and he gets at least a draw. At least a draw with rook takes knight, right? Knight. But okay, he wants more, and he probably gets more. No, 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 no. Ah, white's completely winning. Oh my goodness. I'm sure white's completely winning this. Yeah, white is winning. So was there a mismate? That's the first thing. Like, okay, so there's nothing wrong with this, I don't think. I thought this was a brilliant move. White's totally in control. King takes c5. Oh, knight at d7 was apparently even better. Knight at d7. Wow, that is impressive because that gives you your queen. So when you do this, your queen still can come out. So this is really impressive. Okay, so that was the first thing. But then even when he was like here and managed to kind of get away, this is quite clever. And so here black had got taken back control. Bishop h4 check. Yeah, there was idea of bishop h4 and then knight g6. Okay, but here you gave white some knights. And why can't you take this knight? Oh, the rook's pinned. No wonder you can't take the knight. Okay, so black is totally in control, but in this final position, yeah, white has a knight and he has at least a draw. I mean, if black does nothing, there's knight at b4. Oh, there's king takes at c6, king b8, knight a6, and this in promote. No, at d7 rather. This. Okay, so this promotes, and okay, and on it goes. But it's mate in 6. Queen takes g6, check, and knight takes f7. Okay, so that was definitely a topsy-turvy game. Both sides were winning at one point or another. Sorry, okay, I shouldn't distract, but that was quite an amazing game. And final game in the Crazy House segment. GSVC finisher sacking hard. GSVC again grabbing the center. The finisher gets 2 pawns for the piece. Ooh, and he wins that piece back. And Granak says at g4, and I'm thinking he meant here, somewhere near here. So just to explain for those watching, because I'm not sure, in case you didn't join right at the beginning of the stream, this is actually 6 games of Crazy House and 6 games of 960, standard 960, because it's a Discord multivariant championship, House Discord multivariant championship, HMVC. And each player plays one variant from the list of choices of the opponent. So GSVC chose from, that's not right, is it? Yes, it is right, that is right. So GSVC chose 960 from the list of variants of the finisher, and the finisher chose Crazy House from the list of variants of GSVC. And both are unusual in that they have less variants on their list than many of the players in this championship, but they could probably zero almost anyone else. So their factor of advantage, as it were, is so someone could play twice as many variants, but that's okay. They can't win half as many games, and that's the calculation. You multiply your factor, the number of variants you've offered to your opponent, by your score. Hi there, his symphony. Yeah, I never know how to pronounce your name. It's either his symphony payments or hissy phone payments. But basically, I'll Symphony Sophie. So what's happened the last few moves of this game while I was... so the finisher sacked pretty hard, which means white's got a material advantage, but a king on f1. But the king on I mean, the squares around the king are actually quite well defended, and the weakest 2 squares in black's position are b7 and c7, and white, probably the weakest square is, no, it's not even that weak, f4, f4 maybe? I think white is actually doing good this game, so I predict 5-1 in Crazy House, and when it comes to 960, for sure. I mean, it would be a huge achievement for the finisher to win even a game off GSVC in 960. So I said f4, but of course, yeah, g4 is also a nice move found by... Because the point is, if you try and pay attention to that, you're just going to get another pawn on h3. Still, it's not too bad. The queen's defending g2, but it's still just desperate stuff, I think. I mean, it's tempting just to take the bishop. Okay, so what? I lose a queen. Maybe it is a problem, but I think takes bishop actually is nice because you don't just take the bishop, you take a rook as well, and you take this knight. You're getting. I mean, I think gsvc's okay. He's not going to do that. Instead he's going to say you've got real weaknesses on your dark squares, and I'm just going to. I don't even need to give you a queen. Fair enough. Notice the weakness in white's position is here, but just no time to attack it. And even if there were time, gsvc is being far too defensive by defending that weakness. I don't know. I feel it's too defensive. Now, what's the point of this move? There must be a trick. He wants knight takes, bishop takes, takes, takes. He wants... This is a pawn here. I don't quite see it, but he wants to use this open file, basically. I mean, he's just losing the queen here. So I think at some point he probably should have given up the queen earlier and just continued his attack. Because he's still... Yeah, just black is getting some play. Queen takes pawn. Time's an issue, though. Oh, I see. Queen takes pawn. This is check, but maybe rook g2 defended with tempo. So maybe that wasn't so good. But then knight h3. Okay, it just feels like black's not doing so badly here suddenly. So let's see. Queen takes pawn comes. Knight h3 comes. Queen takes rook. Doesn't quite... Yeah, it works. It works. It works. No, it doesn't. It does. No, it doesn't. I'm just sort of like excitement, and then no, it doesn't work. Okay, wait. Does it work? Does it work? It does work! My goodness. Okay, yeah, so if you took the knight immediately, what was the mate? If he takes the knight immediately at g4, and the point is, why can't we go to h4? Because then knight takes f3 again. King takes h5, g6, king takes g4, or you can even just grab a knight if you want to. Knight here, back, and pawn here, mate. Okay, so that's why this is a problem. So probably the best defense was takes, king h4, same idea, knight f3, king takes g4, and then you could go queen takes knight, but you could even do this. King e2, and you have enough pawns and knights that you actually mate. King f2, knight h3, just defending your rook. King e3, d4. This is, I mean, obviously this is the slowest way of mating, but the point is that even this works with the rook cutting off the first rank. So what do people say in the chat? So David says, Marlon says, ever thought of writing postmodernism to David? No, David is not postmodern in his thinking at all, actually. In fact, it's the opposite. He's not aware of things that don't really exist, and he thinks they do exist. So, and that's what postmodernism teaches you, is that things you think exist don't necessarily exist. So let's see how the 960 is going. And yeah, now I'm talking too abstractly, but so for example, he thinks that there is a meaning of chess, for example, and this is a fundamental mistake, because meaning is created meaning is created subjectively. There is no objective meaning of chess. Different people, it means different things to different people. Different people have different motivations. So this is, but yeah, never mind. Maybe some of the time he's just slightly trolling people with his ideas, or maybe he does really think what he says. One doesn't know entirely. Um, Duvid called it. He called that game, does it? Okay. He predicted that Finisher would win that game. But I thought he predicted that Finisher would win at Crazy House. Whereas GSVC took the Crazy House segment 4-2. So yeah, and just to sum up this thing, what I would say is what you think is actually important, but not necessarily to everyone else. So meaning what you think is important to you, because there are lessons. If you think a certain thing, that has lessons for you, but it doesn't necessarily reflect on some greater reality, especially when it comes to psychological things like meaning. Okay, so GSVC going in for F2. So yeah, and to give an example of that, we were discussing a long time ago on Discord about how chess was a diplomatic tool and it was a way of resolving disputes peacefully and all this, and that's absolutely true. It has been that, but that doesn't mean what? Why is he offering this? Is he saying, "Oh, I'm going to pick up your knight"? Well, that's a sneaky thing to do, but that doesn't mean that that's the only reason. And there's a lack of kind of playfulness um, to 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 Duvid's conclusions, even though maybe he's being playful all along, in 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 trying to in his approach. There's playfulness in his approach, but not in his, and yet the playfulness is lacking in the argument. Okay, so he's trying to say I'm going to. Oh, I think that's quite a nice win from the finisher. Um, like he might not win these games, but he got he he got GSVC to go hunting for a pawn and then say, I made a mistake, and go back, and he won a pawn. So I don't know. That's a mini victory for the finisher right there. That's very satisfying, I think. So yeah, really nice play from the finisher. And GSVC says I am in crazy house mode. Yeah. So I'm just telling Ashwini in the chat that King E1 trapped the knight. So it's quite. So he kind of had to admit his mistake and actually give up a pawn. Yeah, Rook D8 is coming. If you let GSV consolidate, he'll get that pawn in the end. Or will he? Yes, he will, because the bishop's got an onward threat, so you can't trap it. It's got lots of onward threats. So yeah, this is a huge threat. Eek. Yes. Marlon also said, I am GSV says, I am in crazy house mode. Marlon's asking Mugwort, are you a Buddhist? The thing is, Buddhism doesn't exist in that. Yeah, so if you should say, are you a follower of the Buddha, rather than are you a Buddhist? And in that sense, I think you would say yes, because the characterizing it as an ist is against the against the philosophy of the Buddha, I think. And yeah, Buddhism it doesn't actually. So he's interesting. So he's going for a kind nice attack, but king here, bishop takes knight. So it's kind of scary, this. I don't know. I'm really worried for GSVC in this position. So no, Marlon, it's not semantics. So it really is. But Karigalis says, Karigalis, sorry I can't play. I'm commentating on. But it really isn't semantics. Because yeah. So GSVC is just going for the material, but he has to survive what is looking like a huge onslaught on his king, and can he develop? I mean, the white pieces. Well, yeah, white also needs to develop pieces, so it's not entirely clear. But maybe I saying that also because I would regard, like, I have huge respect and would say we should all be study more like about the Buddha's teachings, but I wouldn't call myself a Buddhist. So that's also why I would. That's why I would insist on that, on the semantics, as it were. Oh, okay. So he's saying I'm happy to give up material. I'm just trying to trade down. He does have a material advantage, but only a very slight one. +1 here shows you. Interestingly, it doesn't show that in Crazy House because there'd be little points. But in some positions in chess and 960, that is a valuable indicator of who's winning. So the finisher has actually got a slight material edge. So huge threat from gsvc. Ooh, yep, the finisher sees it despite low time. Oh, the bishop's hanging. Oh, but nice counterattack on this bishop. So that's very nice. But is that... and Marlon says Soviet commissars in the Great Patriotic War were followers of Stalin. I don't know enough about the history. You're saying that they're Stalinists, not communist, or something. I'm not sure. I don't know enough about this. But I'm more saying it because it's against the very... Is there any discovery? Just... I would argue it's against the very philosophy of... so what's the... oh yeah, the knight is pinned. Okay, I see. So gsvc in low time, putting on a lot of pressure. But I see he liquidates the pin because he sees the free piece. And that final position, he's just simply up a knight, and the finisher throws in the towel. That was a great game. Oh, that was stressful. Amazing game. And gsvc goes, how did I win that? I mean, Katas must be on mobile. So it's 5-2 to gsvc. Yeah, no, okay. So you can say... People can identify as Buddhists if they want to. So I was more just saying that it's the same as like Christianity, right? It's like it's something that it is against, but the religion itself doesn't encourage the identification, but then maybe Christianity. So yeah, so I don't know. So probably some branches of Buddhism do self-identify in that way, but I was just saying it in the sense that part of the philosophy of Buddhism is anti-ideological in that sense, in a sense. So it's against the idea of that self-identification. But having said that, okay, if you're living within... So it's interesting, actually. So self-identification becomes necessary within a certain social context. So, for example, it becomes necessary to self-identify as Jewish or Christian precisely because you're living within a context where that group is being persecuted for their beliefs. So... Um, So Marlon says the tenets of the ideology are immaterial, as in nihilist. I don't understand. I'm thinking. So this is chess, apparently. So let me think. So because obviously in Crazy House you sack on g7, we've just had to build really strong, grabbing the open file. Yeah, I mean the word nihilist is just too, I don't know. It's too. People sort of bandy it about as a term of insult, so that's why I don't know about that. It's more used as so you want to push this pawn, but it would just give the knight a square. So this is actually just solid setup. Hi there, Lazy. We're streaming the House multivariant Discord here.
All right, cool. The House multivariant. What? Sorry.
The House has a multivariant championship. So each person makes a list of variants they want to play, and GSVC is up against TheFinnisher. GSVC chose 960, and TheFinnisher chose Crazy House.
You just cut out there. What did they choose?
So GSVC chose 960, and TheFinnisher chose Crazy House.
Well, he would, wouldn't he?
And we've played the Crazy House segment, and despite the fact it was TheFinnisher's choice, GSVC won that 4-2, and now they're playing 960. So now it's the procession, as it were.
Cool.
But some really tight games. Even the first 960 game, which GSVC won, was incredibly tight, and probably, he felt quite lucky to win it. Okay, there's this dangerous battery here on G2, but it's all covered, so. Do you have exams, by the way? The Lazy's left. I was wondering, as a first year, if he has to still go through exams.
Sorry, I'm having audio problems. Ooh, I see we have a new GIF as our. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
I see we have a new GIF as our icon.
Yes, indeed.
That's kind of cool.
Where have you been? It's been there for weeks.
My friend, for weeks has actually.
Yes.
Fuck's sake. I have been studying and working on my app.
So I'm wondering, do you have exams, by the way?
I don't have exams, but I never was going to have exams. A bit of a quirk of my degree is I don't have second year exams.
Oh, you're on the second year already. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I know. What, like?
Well, you have
3 more terms, and I graduate, which is insane.
So basically, third years in Cambridge. I'm not sure if Oxford did the same thing. So huge attack on G2.
What happened, sorry?
So I said, third years, if they did well in the second year, they can just carry through their second year result to the third year.
Oh.
So I'm wondering, did Oxford do the same thing?
Yes. So we implemented a safety net.
Yeah.
It's not quite as you describe. It's
so
you take
so I just want to say
the exams, but you can't score lower than you did in your second year exams.
I just want to quickly say TheFinnisher is doing some amazing things here. But it doesn't work. What?
What's the link to the game?
Or just watch GSVC TV or TheFinnisher TV.
Oh, nice.
And he was completely winning, and then what? He just missed that the checkmate was covered. And he just needed knight takes G2, and he was completely winning. Surely completely winning. Okay, maybe I mistook it, but oh my goodness, that last game. So 2 games which looked like TheFinnisher was completely winning, and the GSV has taken them both. So was there a win for black here? So takes. I was thinking knight takes. So your queen's under attack. That's the problem. But this doesn't work. Knight h3 doesn't work. He thought he had a mate, or at least a draw, but nothing. G takes h3, and there's nothing in the game just completed. Okay, so yeah, so we're playing the 960 portion, so it's all quite crazy. And, well, the finisher's playing very well. But gsvc is 6-2 up and a draw away from confirming himself as the winner of this match. And Marlon says, is that Lazy MD? And yes, absolutely, it is Lazy MD in the chat. And he's also saying...
Hi, maybe I should contribute with some commentary and shit.
yeah, go ahead.
Let's actually load up the game and get that going. Alright, watching from the finisher side, Team Finisher all the way. 960, not Crazy House 960. I know his Jan Lee was playing Crazy House 960 earlier this morning.
He was, yes. That was a really good stream.
But,
yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so does this just look like a free piece for GSVC? What do we think?
Yeah, because if the bishop backed off, the queen was bye-bye. So.
Well, I mean, it was a fork, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What kind of play is Michael gonna get here? He doesn't have much of an attack, and his pawn structure is extremely poor in the center. Obviously, that e-pawn is going to be very weak and exposed for attack. Whereas GSVC's bishops are looking quite nice. I like the light square diagonals there.
Yep.
So if I were Michael, I would be thinking hard about how to proceed here.
Well, you're a piece down, so you don't want to trade queens either. That's the other problem. So yeah, it's quite painful.
I like that a4, a3. That's quite bug house-ish.
Yes. It's coming.
You can afford to be slow when you've got a nice position like GSVC's there. You can just run the a4 pawn down and White can't do much about it.
Well, he could castle, maybe. I don't think... Has he moved his king yet?
Let's have a look.
He could just castle.
No, he hasn't, yeah. If you castle, the a4, a3 takes on b2, still hits a2,
I mean,
which is going to be very strong.
Yeah, f1 is covered, but yeah. So you can't castle in this position. But he did castle. Just not the right way.
Nice.
Yeah, because f1 was blocked. You couldn't pass f1.
Yeah, but the point is the a2 pawn is now on pre.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, that's okay. He might decide it's worth it for the king safety.
Well, a3 is still coming though.
Right, sure, but at least you don't have your king right behind it and
yeah.
a rook trapped in the corner.
Yeah.
I say benefits as a loose term, as in like to avoid disaster.
Yeah. Well, you should have joined for the previous game. I think the finisher was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the finisher was really putting. But in fact, both the last couple of games have been really quite tight games. Whereas this one is more, it's game over.
Oh, nice use of a castle there.
Yeah.
See, I told you, those two bishops from GSVC are absolute monsters.
I know. A3.
Untouchable now for the finisher.
A3 comes.
A3 very strong.
A2. No, A2
could A2, but you don't have anything to proceed with the attack afterwards.
I know.
So
yeah.
I like what he's doing here is just keeping the pressure on.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no follow-up to A2. Probably just takes on B2 at some point. But...
Yeah, not quite. Satisfying, but not the best move. Alright, how would we proceed here to get a win for GSVC?
Just trade everything off.
If you trade everything off too quickly, you lose your two bishops and possibly your advantage. You might think, you got the piece. Well,
he's going for mate.
Yeah, that's more like it.
He wants rook a8, rook takes a3, rook.
Nice mating conceptualization. What would you play against c3?
Rook a1.
C3 here, rook A8.
C3. Okay, so C3. A2. I don't know.
No, I don't think B takes A3 was very good because of exactly this.
Yeah. No,
You're
against C.
inviting the weak A5 here. There's no defense. Bishop B3 and Bishop C4 check.
Yep.
So if the king goes to the background, rook A1 and then Bishop C4, which is pretty sweet.
It's all over.
Bishop C4 first. Yeah, even better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah, Bishop C4 and mate. That's it. It's all over. I mean, I don't. Maybe they play on, but the result is
I'm
determined.
sure they will. They're both nice guys. So is it not alternate between Crazy House and 960 games? Or...
No, the lower seed gets to play their choice first. So because GSVC was the highest seed, they played the Crazy House first. And Katas, congratulations GSVC for the result. There are a lot of players. There are some players in this. I don't know the names. Who else is in the last four, as it were. But many of the other players have a lot more variance in their lists, which means, so if you have, say, 50% more variance, it means you have to win 50% more games among the 12 games.
So how many variants did they each put down?
Yeah, I'm not exactly
You're not sure?
Yeah. I haven't been following it. I haven't been following it that closely.
So if the number of variants determines the number of games you have to win, then how do you know 7-2 is a win for GSVC?
Oh yeah, because GSVC and TheFinnisher both have the same number. Like they both put down basically chess Crazy House.
Okay.
960 and maybe I'm not sure if there's anything else. Maybe TheFinnisher put Atomic. I don't know. Maybe King of the Hill. I don't know what the other ones were. But there are some people who have huge lists, like 10 variants or something, 9 variants. I think Legion Destroyer only needed to win 3 games or something because he had a much longer list. Something like this. I don't. But he was unable to win 3 games of Crazy House against GSVC. In fact, GSVC just won everything. So having a longer list just doesn't help.
I think that might be a flaw in the competition rules.
No, that's the design. That's exactly the design.
That having more variants doesn't help.
It doesn't help if you're not good. If you're not good enough.
Oh right.
That's kind of the design. Cool. So you can win less, but if you can't win any, then
yep.
You can, 0 multiplied by however much is still 0. It's still 0. Legion's really strong though. He's got really strong at Crazy House over the past months. I mean, he won the Shield, for example.
Nice. Oh, 2400. Wow, he was always 2400-ish, right?
Yeah, but he's.
Are you saying he's underrated at the moment?
He's been like berserking all, and I don't know, 2400 is probably fair, but I'm saying he won the Shield. Let's put it this way: he won the Shield with TheFinnisher head to head with him
very nice.
What's
his particular
with an hour of the
strength?
With an hour of the tournament to go, they were head to head, same number of points, and he just sort of having lost like 4 games in a row to TheFinnisher in that final hour, he just won every time they met and kept on breaking the finisher streak. About 3 times or 3 times in a row. So yeah, impressive.
What's his particular speciality? Is it still openings?
Not sure. I mean, he does do the rover occasionally, but so I guess that's. So how many games to go? Just 2 games to go. gsvc declined the draw there. Or was it which way around? I can't remember which way around it was, but one of them declined the draw. So Marlon is saying you sound like either Australian or New Zealand with your accent. He's wondering whether you
confirm I'm neither of those.
I know he knows you're half French, half English, but he's wondering
It's quite funny though.
if you've been down under.
I haven't been down under.
Okay.
I can sometimes do an Australian accent, but I don't think now is the best time.
That's okay. Yeah.
I have just been on a stream with a South African set of people, though, so maybe something's rubbed off there, and Marlon's misinterpreting. Hold on, give me a second.
Yeah, so the knight in the corner, obviously it's a good idea to develop it. I think Jan was even just saying that on his Crazy House 960 stream. Can never be a bad move to get the knight out from the corner. Bishops, you can often just leave the bishops where they are because they're already doing good things. You just need to open up the lines for the bishops. So notice how this pawn structure, although that's antithetical to this bishop, that's not a problem because the bishop's pointing along this diagonal. So, and we're seeing the alpha 0 push, or should I say the ginger GM push, a5, a4, a3 coming again this game. Which is brave with the king there, but I guess he thinks it's safe enough. He's going to go for it, isn't he?
Alright, g6. b6. I think we're favouring white here from the early opening for the analysis you've just gave, but the question is, how is he going to proceed? He could play knight c4 and try a Saki thing, but it's a bit early on to be doing that kind of thing, so just a slow build-up, I guess. Oh, this is quite nice here. gsvc is trying to swap off the white's good.
Yeah, white's good bishop, yeah.
Knight f5, nice outpost. I think gsvc is just probably hoping to huddle up and wait out to see what white brings as a challenge and hopefully swap everything off at the end and wind off even or better.
Well, I think he's going to go for this queenside push, a5, a4, a3 at some point.
From gsvc, I'd be surprised. He doesn't quite have like the support behind it at the moment. Like I would say off the, well, I don't think a3 is a real threat here. Basically, just b3.
Okay, but now the dark squares are really weak.
That's okay. There's no attack behind it.
Oh, what did he do there? Oh, he took a rook. I see.
Yeah, he took on a1.
Ooh, that actually makes his position.
Yeah, I think
slightly
so.
risky.
His bishop was quite strong here, and white's rook was obviously very, very poor.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
I don't think the exchange was necessarily the right move here.
No. I mean,
and it's basically we'll just see if Michael's going to sack on b6, and that's going to be the big game changer. He's decided not to.
No, the finisher is not one to sack. That's the problem.
Unless
it's the desperado situation. If he likes his position, he'll try and milk it.
Well, they're both kind of just playing a bit of chicken then, saying, well, both like the other side doesn't have a real way to progress. Let's see what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it depends who's going to hold out longer.
Well, hang on. What does knight c2 pick up the pawn? Maybe you don't want to pick up the pawn anyway, because it just creates lines on your king. I mean, both queens are quite bad, really. But maybe queen d7 will come at some point.
Alright, sorry, I've just got to run.
That's okay.
I will become a listener instead of your stream. Okay, keep up the commentary.
Cool. And yeah, Marlon says that those Voortrekkers accent is infectious. I strongly suspect Duva to be... Yeah, okay. And Mugwort says, speaking of chicken, he is playing Duchesse in 40 minutes. Oh. So the finisher has a Crazy House game happening soon. But this was definitely the game of the day, so I'm not sure if I'm going to continue covering stuff. I'm procrastinating as it is by doing this, but we'll see. And we have some World War II history in the Lichess chat. Yeah, okay. So, okay, low time though is also a problem, and it's going to be more of a problem for the finisher, I suspect. So the finisher, he's down in exchange, but the black king is kind of weak. Oh, he gets... Maybe he gets something here. Let's see. Does he get something? He didn't pull the trigger. He wants knight d5. If he could play knight d5, white might be doing very well. Ooh, tactics. Crazy tactics. Knight d5 is coming. Knight d5 is coming. It hasn't been stopped. Knight d5 threatens, rook takes pawn. Okay, actually the queen's not hanging because the queen's defended. Yeah, he should have gone to b2 to begin with. He could just curl up here, but then there's this, so that doesn't quite work. So he defends with the queen. Okay, fair enough. But there must be something. This is what's so frustrating about this position. There must be something for white. I just don't see what it is. Queen takes queen. Queen takes queen. Rook takes. Rook takes pawn. Where is the killer blow? The killer blow is the flag. No. Oh, that's a sad... Wow. That was really close. And yeah, black has forced mate, in fact. No, but there must have been something here. So firstly, Queen c2 apparently is good. Queen c2 is good. Queen c2 is good. Here, knight d5 is good. Knight takes b6 was the move missed. Yes, with discovery ideas. Oh yeah, that's nice. So rook takes b6 would be forced. At least we get back the exchange. King c7, and then you trade off queens. And then what? Then it's not clear. Because this pawn looks like it's going to run, so you have to be careful. You have to do stuff like this. And if ever black comes and grabs this, then we can grab this, maybe. So black might have a slight edge, but it's probably a draw. Ah, maybe apparently it is. Yeah, maybe that rook to d5. Okay, so yeah, so this is like white's chances. Queen c4, queen c2. Okay. Okay, we're into the final game. 9-2. And so, oh, hi there, Oppa. Okay, so like if I look at this from a distance, it could almost be like a chess position where this is the king here, and and we're playing some kind of 4 knights or something. Okay, things are a little bit off. What is going on here? He wants this knight. But if you do that, you're asking for tactics. Ooh, so Fishy Fishy says Queen C4 was actually winning last game. And Marlon and David are having the conversation. So if Marlon's listened to this, yeah, we had this conversation on Discord, of where David is basically saying war is a natural escalation of chess, or the other way around, that chess is the de-escalation of war, and and that's what Marlon's saying. Marlon says Plato said that only the dead have seen the end of war. So David, chess is a natural de-escalation of war. Yes. And Marlon says, and chess did not exist in Plato's time. A model of it, so scaling down, if you will. Yes. Yeah, it didn't. It didn't exist. I mean, it becomes a worldwide phenomenon. I mean, other things exist. So people love to do other things which are also de-escalations of war. Stuff like jousting. And yes, so this is what I was saying is the the fundamental error of Duvid, as it were, is he assumes everything has one meaning. He assumes just because it's the de-escalation of war, that chess must always be that, and there's no other meaning. And I'm saying to him, it's personal. Different people play for different reasons. So when a child plays, they play because they like to play. It's nothing to do with war. But you're right. When adults play, they bring their own soul sickness, as it were, to the game. So it speaks more to us and our own issues. And so in that way, chess is actually very instructive. So some people in chess, they really hate to lose, and they feel personally attacked when they lose, or they feel that they can sometimes feel like this pawn is really good, by the way. It controls the knight. They can feel like demoralized emotionally, as it were, and whereas other people are not like that at all. Different people have different characters. Talks is brilliant. He says, "You guys are so knowledgeable and interesting." Yes. Interesting. Oh, there's a nice one. He thought he was attacking the king, and just bye-bye. Yeah, good one from the finisher. But they're still dangerous ideas, potentially. And although this pawn is beautiful, if it ever goes into an endgame, it's an isolated pawn. Okay, maybe we could do it. Don't know. Let's see. Oppa says, in such positions you're happy as black. White remove e5, so d4 becomes weaker. And everyone's saying hello. White is better, got a bishop and 2 pawn islands. Yeah, so fewer pawn islands, and the bishop versus, yeah. Black got 3 of them, exactly, yeah. Yep. I mean, yeah, this pawn island is fine in the middle game, but it's going to become a problem in the end game. In the middle game, it's brilliant because it's actually stopping this. Well, relentless pressure though. GSVC. What's the idea? I'm not quite sure what the idea is, but it's relentless pressure. I mean, this is defended, so what's the idea? He wants to go here, maybe? I don't. Oh, he wants to go there. Okay. Was that just a one-move threat, or is there a continuation? Takes, and he's opened up the file for his rook. Okay, I mean, yeah, as far as the middle game goes, yeah, I don't know. It's still quite an open position, though. Margot says this quickly descended into a chess game. Yes. Feels like black doesn't know what to do with his knights, and now this is a problem. Oh, he's just hung it. He's hung it. He's hung it. He's hung it. That is very bad. Because his rook's hanging now. Oh no, it's not. It's not hanging at all. So good move from the finisher, Queen f7. But oh, time! 1 second. This is terrible. He wants just rook takes pawn. It's another good move because pawn here though works. Okay, so he just takes. I mean, but the finisher's got real pressure. It's just trying to dissolve things because the pressure is too big. Takes the knight. Takes the knight. Yeah, nice. Threatening mate, by the way. 18, 17, and if you defend the mate, there's also rook here, so really strong. Maybe he just plays this, but then rook here is a problem. Rook here. Ooh, painful. What does gsvc do? Attacks the rook? Oh, very nice. He wants... Oh, okay. This is a draw at least. Takes. And probably better, right? They accept a draw. They agree a draw. Yeah. Was there any way of winning a position like this, though? Yeah, the king just goes back to g1. So if the king makes the mistake of trying to go here, then this creates a mate threat that can't be avoided. You can just check, and then the king just comes over. So that's interesting. I didn't really know that for sure. It's very important with this check to go back, and then there's never a mate. And again, if you just try to do something like this here, again you go king g1 and you stop the mate. So there's some tricks black can try, but if white just oscillates f1 g1, he's completely safe. So really well played from the finisher to take a draw in 960 and 2 wins in Crazy House. I think that's a moral victory. Well, I don't think he'll be happy about the Crazy House, but in terms of the 960, those games were a lot closer than we expected. Oh, and Oppa said all sorts of things I missed. In the previous game, in the rook ending, rook d5 with the idea takes e5. And, well, if I'm going to have a look at that, I'm going to be, I don't know. It's hard to find out what this is. Oh, this one. I don't know. Queen c4. It's apparently strong. Oh, it's about the final position. Yeah, so in the very final position, yeah, what was I was sharing this. I've completely forgotten the line I was sharing. It was the line I was sharing. Yeah, so it was this. Knight takes b6. Yeah, knight takes b6. Rook takes knight. Rook takes king c7. Rook d6. Yeah, so you have a rook d5 idea with the idea of taking on e5. And yeah, I don't know if this is the point. And then going here. Yeah, I don't know. But what Fishy Vishy was saying was that actually the move Queen c4 apparently was winning here. Because why is it winning? because what if we did a move like here? That doesn't work, does it? Because knight takes c6 is check. Okay, yeah, that just doesn't work at all. Okay, so that's just ridiculous. And what the engine says is you castle queenside, which again just looks ridiculous because of this, and then you run. So the engine just wants to run. I mean, this is just... and white's winning, apparently. But it's quite tight. It's not clear at all. I don't see why it's winning, but... Rook d to f8. Like, why? Like, I don't understand this position. You're just about defending this. You're just about stopping the queen. Why would you go rook d to f8? I mean, it's such a weird move. So I don't understand this position at all. I'd want to go knight d5 or something, and that's probably... What's knight... Oh, I see, of course what you're doing. You're trying to do this and this. Okay, I'm being completely dim. Okay, so that makes complete sense. And so f4 would make sense. And you're just trying to... If you just try to break through, it would be f5, so that doesn't make sense. So maybe take it. But if you take it... This... I know, I'm just so confused. Queen takes rook. What? I don't understand. Why would you take the rook? Why can't you just do this, for example? And yeah, losing your rook. Okay, then this promotes. So, okay, gosh, yeah, 960 is not my thing. So this is powerful. And why can't we just do this? Because then, oh, this is falling. So the whole position is collapsing. Okay, so white is winning with f4. Maybe g5. So the point is, if you take, then we will be winning with rook here, check, and promote. So that white is winning by closing up the king side. Rook d6, and now he has to try and... Now can you go knight d5? I don't know. Why can't you go knight d5 here? Just knight okay, his queen's hanging. What? Okay, I'm just... okay, so he just closes up the king side. That's the first thing. What does black do here? What if he just puts the rook here? The problem is queen f7. Okay, so I just have really bad understanding of this position, of what the plans are for both players. Like, it requires... What do you do here? It says h3, queen d5, rook h3, rook d3 even. Like, what is this move? Rook d3? Just blocking this off, but what's the idea? There must be something more concrete. Why not? Yeah, because the problem is the queen's hanging. Okay, so can we have a more concrete move? Like, if we just queen here, then it would be a draw. Okay, so we need to do h3 here. Oh, throwing in a check is interesting, apparently. Throwing in a check here. What's the idea? That's only a draw. Okay, so it doesn't work. Okay, so let's just have a look at what it says. Rook d3. Attack the queen. And you have these ideas, taking this pawn. Okay, so suppose he just does this. So there are only 3 winning moves for white in this position. Rook d2, rook d1, and rook h3. And I'm like, I just don't understand this position. I'm sorry. So even to do h3, what's wrong with it? Rook b8. Whereas obviously if I do this, rook b8, I'm taking this. That's a huge problem. So I can see how this could be potentially strong. But if I do this, why can't I just do this? Oh, okay. Queen c6. Okay, king here, and queen e6, and king here, and then queen. Okay, so this is actually quite a precarious position. But we could still go h6. Okay, we're still fine. How is white going to win this game? Rook b3. I'm still sort of struggling why white is winning, but okay. Queen a4. So I'll just let the engine play, just to try and see why is white winning this. So what's black's threat if we take this pawn? Take here. And white is up in exchange. So we can't allow that. So instead we do this. Check. It's a really weird position. And the point, by the way, is this is checkmate if you take it. Okay, and now everyone. Oh no, yeah, now everyone agrees that white is winning. Okay, so it's a kind of position. It's a very dynamic position where white's an exchange down, but if you can, yeah, if you can somehow unleash his forces, it's actually it would be lethal. Anyway, it was far too difficult for me to understand, so I'm not going to be able to follow the chat. But okay, good games from GSVC, winning in the end, 9.5 against 2.5 against TheFinnisher, and I guess it was all over after the Crazy House portion. TheFinnisher needed like a clean sweep in Crazy House to win this, which is difficult. Okay, so I'm sorry that the analysis at the end was just I'm just trying to follow Stockfish lines on that penultimate game. Yeah, the level of 960 between these two was way above my competence grade. But definitely interesting games. Okay, thanks everyone for watching, and see you next time.